Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. First off, I want to thank everyone that has been reaching out to me through direct message on Instagram. Thank you, it's been a pleasure helping you guys out. So I look forward to working with you again and looking forward to working with new people. Now, today we're going to be focusing again on becoming a professional, and my next video, as you can see, is going to be on strategies. Now in this video, I'm going to keep it very simple, using some basic layers, some basic strategies, just to help frame your mind for when you're getting ready to implement your strategies. So guys, your key to success, no matter what you do in life, again, I'll always relate it to examples through different types of work, whether you're a car salesman, a professional athlete, whether you're coaching little kids soccer. Okay, your key to success now is having strategies and implementing them. So we're going to break down just some base layers that I'm going to use for strategies. Okay, so we're going to look at 3 layers right now. Product, and when I say product, that doesn't mean it has to be you're selling a BMW. It could be you're coaching soccer, so your product is your coaching skills and helping children. The market, and then objections. Okay, so these are going to be the base layers of our focus. Now, the next step is going to be basic, simple strategies for contacting or generating a new prospect. And this can relate to a soccer coach looking for a player. It can relate to a car salesman. It can relate to someone working at a grocery store. So let's look at the 5 concepts that I'm going to use. And again, guys, I use examples that I personally use myself, that I've been learning over the years from my continuous development. Okay, so first one we're going to look at here is make a script and use it. So no matter how you contact someone, whether it's face-to-face, whether it's a phone call, an email, or nowadays social media, which is huge, you guys have to have a script. Now, I'm not saying that script has to be word for word every time, but you have to have your idea of how you're contacting the person and what you're trying to get across to them to set up your eventual having them buy your product. Okay, so have a script, cater to who you are. Okay, which is the next part. Practice and memorize the main points that you're trying to get across, no matter what that is that you're focusing on. Again, if it's you're a coach, you're working with kids, young adults, okay, you have to know in and out what you're coaching, how you're going to make that person better, and why they should be with you and not the other 100 coaches out there. Okay, but now this is where you have to practice and memorize your script in this situation. Okay, and be you. Now, one thing that's funny, because I've worked with many different sales people over the last 15 years, and everyone has great ideas, but somehow they forget this next step. You actually have to contact the prospect. You actually have to have a conversation with them. You have to have some sort of dialect, whether it's on the phone, in person, or email or social media. So don't forget this one. This one should be in everyone's basic simple strategies, is actually contact the potential prospect. Okay? Step 4 to maximizing your strategies and always learning and growing. Track what you do. You're going to track the good, the bad, the ugly. So you're going to, keep a record of, hey, I had 5 great phone calls today with the prospect. Here's why. I had a couple bad phone calls and I lost control of the conversation, for example, and you're going to list what it is. Okay. Other examples of this one is, the ugly, where you just botched everything. You have no idea what's going on. Okay. Track it. Okay, because what it's going to help you do, it's going to help you update, improve your script, change your script if you have to. Okay, so really focus on that. Track. Now the next step, be willing to ask for help. Guys, I have many different people that I reach out to for help, and it could be the simple thing is just changing up again my script, or refocusing my mindset is one of those things I talked about in the video before. Okay, so really focus on getting help and be willing to accept help from others. Okay, it's always good to have your partners, your mentors, and a good group that you work close hands with and learn from. Okay, so now we're going to dig into the product. Now, as for the product, guys, you have to have a product that people want. So I'm going to keep this one very general. I'm going to use the coaching aspect of being a soccer coach, okay? As a coach, your product is you. Your product is what you can do for the parents and for the kids and why they should be with you. So this is your first step, is having the product and why someone should play for you. And don't assume, even though you may have been coaching soccer for 5 years, 30 years, don't assume that someone understands your product, okay? So you need to know your product. You need to explain your product and have the reasons for people to buy your product. Now, market, okay? Again, I'll use the coaching a young team, for example. So your market would be, let's say, 8-year-olds to 12-year-olds for your team. Now, that's one part of your market and demographics. Now, what's your area? Are you going to be the 1, 2, 3 cities is where you're looking? Establish what your market is. Do your research of what's in those markets. So how many other soccer teams are in those markets? Okay? And if there's 30 teams in those markets, what level do they play at? Are they a house league team? Are they a travel team? Are they an elite team? Are they high school teams? These are all things you need to know, because it's going to go all the way back now to your product and why someone should buy your product, okay? So as you see, these layers, guys, even though I only have 3 right now, that each one of them has very in-depth things you need to work on, focus on, and perfect. And that goes into the strategies that go into actually getting out there and getting a prospect into a client, okay? Now, objections. You're gonna hear objection after objection after objection. Now, normally it's, in the case I'll use a soccer again, and I'll use it price, time, location. Those are ones you're going to hear. Or I have to, I got to talk to my husband or wife to make sure this is the right team for my child. At the end of the day, those objections are what we call smoke screens. Guys, they're thrown out there so that the potential prospect doesn't feel bad when trying to get away from you. They don't want to say no. Now, the reason you get those objections are you haven't answered the questions that they've wanted to ask, and they're not going to usually ask on their own, okay? So you didn't get rid of the objection of, I had to go and talk to my husband or wife. That's something very simple, If a kid comes out, you're running a soccer tryout, you're going to ask right away if the parent, keep it simple, I'm not going to go full in depth with this. This is something where if you want me to go full in depth with objections, feel free to reach out to me, guys. I'm always willing to help. But for example, I need to go talk to my husband, talk to my wife. Now, you have one parent there. They've brought their kid to the trial, which means they want them to play. They want the product. But now, something along the line of when you've gone to make your team, that parent, that player has lost faith in the coach, doesn't like the product. You have to find out why. And this is when you're meeting with parents in this example of coaching a soccer team. When you're running the trials, you talk to the parents, hey guys, thanks for coming out. Hey, what did you like? Oh, you really love that coach over there? Yeah, their specialty is defense. Oh, your son or daughter needs to work on their defense? Well, this is what this coach is going to be able to do for you. And it's going to take you from this level, which could be intermediate, beginner, all the way to advanced. Okay, so now you answer that question. If the kid and the one parent believes in you, they're not going to have to go and ask the other parent whether or not they're going to join the team or not. And that's just one example. So guys, you need to know the objections that are going to get thrown at you and why they're going to get thrown at you. Because I hear it all the time where people are like, oh, this person, they just don't have the money. Guys, someone comes to you, and I'll use this at whatever it is. Someone's going to go and buy a BMW. They're not going to walk into a BMW store without the intent of purchasing. Okay, there's going to be 1 or 2 people that will do that. But if someone walks into your store, they have the intent of purchasing the product. Now you just have to find out why they want the product, how the product is going to help them, or if they just want it, why they're going to buy from you and not the next person. Now this stuff all ties in, guys, to the strategies that you implemented. Again, I kept it very simple. So guys, make sure you work on your strategies, you focus everything in. Reach out to me if you need help. And again, you guys can reach me on Instagram at robitaille.gregory. I look forward to hearing from you, and I look forward to sending my next video out very soon.